Understanding Performance as Art and Beyond, Multiple Gaze is a research and documentation project that engages in historicizing the new trends of performance art in India. Tracing history and evidences in last 3 decades, this project addresses some of the most inevitable research queries. Largely, the project deals with methods and perceptions in documentation, mapping historical track points, key events behind the emergence of a form, understanding the practice as discipline, pedagogy and praxis, discipline and cross, developing a dialogue across the disciplines, body being the central element, the body as body and beyond.
Most of the Indian artists are trying to grasp the meaning of performance art in their individualistic ways, and by doing so they are actually adding some meaning to it.
The phenomenology of the body has gone through a significant change. The technologies have completely come and displaced the sense of liveness for us. And this divorce in spatial dynamic has completely changed the way we look at the live body. Why is it still important to do performance where the performer is physically present?
What is the necessity for performance art in India? It might seem to have a very long history in Western art, but in India there have been individuals who have been practicing it, but it's only in the last few years that there's been some kind of conscious sort of coming together.
I think the idea of performance art is actually to lift this being to a level where the intervention of the other becomes a possibility. Performance art is not, it's like a parasite. Performance art doesn't have its own energy production mechanism. Fungus is actually grows anywhere. It grows here, it grows here.
One example, there has been so many examples who were trying constantly to think, define, redefine definitions of performance art. But we are, as you say, we're too rigid. We have this there's too much boundaries. Who are you trying to address? And how much, actually as an artist, do we think that what we do makes change in our society?
It is very natural to me. Performance is very real. It's just this consciousness and awareness that you try to be there on the space. You create your aura and you know what you're doing. You know your every step and you are connecting everyone, every viewer.
Though there are many attempts taken to conceptualize the performance art practices in India, most of them are spread around in the forms of catalogue writing, art magazine features or blogs. A comprehensive methodological study is not found. We realize the lack of suggestible evidences in many stages, in the process of documentation, in the methods of historicizing, and also in the stage of practical guidance.
We have not come to a deeper understanding of the theoretical grounds from which we can speak about this. What we are aiming at is more a conceptual understanding of performance and to keep it completely open in terms of nomenclature.
Time to time, writers, critics and connoisseurs are trying to record, conceptualize or historicize the practices. But all those efforts are fragmented, scattered.
And I mean, very few books have actually come out. Honestly, how many other publications have come out since then? Most of the writing that's being done, especially in the last 10 years, is more towards monographs or catalogue writing, right? Like this kind of historical sort of text are very few. The research fellowship was an obvious choice because there was very little work happening in India which seriously involved research. It wasn't about writing catalogues, it wasn't about writing reviews in magazines, it was about consistent research which needed more engagement.
Research questions central to the proposed project. Queries over the spectatorial discourses against the artist, creator, maker, giver-centric praxis. Questioning how to document a performance privileging the ephemeral conditions of a performance art. Searching for a perfect methodology to conceptualize performance art in Indian context. making a historiography of performance art as a tradition in India, looking for the best possible order or categorization, most essentially and precisely how to define Indian performance art, how to put all the diversified efforts, scattered documentations under single umbrella, how to make a comprehensive coherence among practice, theory and praxis, to make chronological order, also to explain Indian performance art to young artists as well as larger audience, understanding the conceptual location of the spectator. Samudra Kajal Saikia initiates this ambitious project that aims a broader panoramic area to cover. Samudra is a young researcher, a practitioner of transdisciplinary art practices. After his graduation in art history from Shantiniketan and masters from MS University of Baroda, he is now working in Delhi with theatre and performances, videos, animation, installations, cultural writings and so on. He is into cultural writings for almost 2 decades. Samudra practices a certain kind of theatre that is coined as the disposable theatre. In 2010, he received the FICA Public Art Grant for his Disposable House project before receiving the Ila Dalmia FICA Research Grant 2013.